Hello, everyone. My guest today is Girish Mathrubootham. He is the founder and CEO of a company called Freshworks, one of the world's fastest growing SaaS product companies, winning the Economic Times Startup of the Year in 2016 and the Business Standard Startup of the Year in 2017. Freshworks now has a suite of products for businesses worldwide, including Freshdesk, Freshservice, Freshsales, Freshcaller, Freshteam, Freshchat, and Freshmarketer. Girish, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes.
All right. Very good. So I think a lot of people listening maybe have heard or definitely have heard of one of these products and they go, oh my gosh, one guy and one team is behind all of these things. So tell us the founding story. When did you launch the company and which of these product lines is your focus right now?
Yeah. So we started the company in October 2010. And at that time, we started with only one product, Freshdesk. Freshdesk, our whole idea was, the story is coming from a life incident. I was moving back from the US to India, and I was shipping my stuff back. And long story short, when my stuff arrived, my TV was broken. You know, the fancy 40-inch LCD TV was broken. And I tried contacting customer care since I had purchased insurance, but 5.5 months, numerous phone calls and emails later, they still wouldn't pay my insurance money. So at that point, I didn't care about the money. I wanted revenge and justice. So I actually
the best revenge is justice, right?
Yeah. So I actually shared my experience online on an online forum where I found the shipping company, and I posted pictures of my TV and posted my story, and the community started engaging. The next day, the president of the company came and apologized, and the next day, money was in my bank. So I sensed that there was a paradigm shift happening in the world of customer support. This was February 2010 when Twitter, Facebook, using Twitter for support was not mainstream yet. So I got this idea to build a fresh help desk, which helps companies to listen to customer complaints, not just on over email or phone call, but also on Facebook and Twitter and so on. So I think that was the original idea to build a fresh help desk, and we called it Freshdesk. And
help me understand. So you know, you have actually give me the order real quick. So Freshdesk was first, and then quickly, what was second, third, fourth, and fifth?
Yeah. So Freshservice was second, Freshsales was third, and then Freshchat was the fourth.
And what about Freshteam and Freshcaller?
So it came immediately after.
Oh, so Freshchat, Freshcaller, and Freshteam were all kind of together.
Together, almost in the same week or 2 weeks. So.
Okay. All right. So you're averaging what? Basically one new product line every, 1.5 years, essentially, correct?
I don't count average.
Tell me how one of the things I'm interested in is how you're doing cohort analysis across your customer bases, right? You have 6 different product lines, and I'm sure you have different cohorts in each of those different product lines. Walk me through what kind of analysis you guys are doing on a quarterly or monthly basis with your executive team.
So I think the context here is, Freshdesk and Freshservice are not really complementary products. One is focused on an entirely different buyer. So the external customer support and internal customer support. So there is not a lot of overlap between those two. Before I answer your question, so Freshsales was the first product we got out, which really could be sold into our existing customer base. And then the other 4 products we launched last year. So what we do is, again, as part of our board meetings and investor analysis, we do all this fancy, I had to learn all of the stuff like the layer cake analysis and the net expansion into new products and so on. And I think what we see as a very big opportunity for us is the fact that I think less than only 5% of our customers actually use more than one product, which is more the fact that all the products are new. And so we didn't want to put a cross-sell team. I wanted to do product-based auto discovery. So like 2 months ago, I think we launched Freshworks unified experience with an omnibar and a single sign-on called Fresh ID. So I am a product person. So I believe that for our SMB customers, I want to do product-led discovery, automatic discovery of products. Like how when you sign up for Gmail, you don't sign up for Google Docs or Calendar, or you just use them, right? So that's the kind of product integration we have done, and now we are starting to see that cohort of customers using more than one product move up rapidly, and we are also in the process of seeing if you can do a cross-sell program across our customer base.
No touch though, all in product.
Till now, everything is in product.
Yep, very good. So give me an average, like across all these products. I mean, is this mainly for the SMB? Like, what's the average price point, would you say, across these things?
No, so we have more than 1/3 of our customers and our revenue, comes from larger customers. So we have 65% of our revenue from SMB customers and 35% from what we call mid-market or large enterprise customers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and give me, if people want to start with you, they want to start with Freshsales today. I mean, you're talking $10 a month to get started, $1,000, $10,000? Where does it generally start or average?
So I think Freshsales today. Okay, if you want to get started, you can get started at zero. But the average customer today pays us, I think, around $1,200 annual contract value.
Okay, got it. And now they're paying on a monthly basis, though, right? Or are you locking them into an annual contract?
No, most of them pay on a monthly basis.
Yeah, okay. Very good. And then breakdown, it sounds like there's some funding here because you mentioned you have a board. So how much have you raised to date?
So till now, we have raised close to $250 million.
$250 million. And when was the first round?
The first round was closed October 28, 2011.
2011. Okay, so fairly, only about 1 year after your launch. Why did you decide, kind of 12 months in, that the right path was going to be to go down the venture path?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And see, there are two things. One is, in a SaaS business model, the marketing costs are very front-loaded. So I have to spend, let's say, for example, $1,000 to acquire a customer who's paying me $100 a month. So unless I have real word of mouth and virality, which usually happens when you are like a new category creator. But when we started in help desk, which was an existing category with multiple players. So it was important to kind of get funding in order to pay for the front-loaded marketing costs. So and get scale. And I think this is a question that many entrepreneurs ask me actually: should they be bootstrapping or should they get VC funded? So I think if you are in a category where there's a lot of competition, and if some of your competition is already funded, it's probably a better idea to get funding and scale rapidly, because VCs are going to look for other players in the category. And if you are still bootstrapping, maybe others will get funded and build a superior product quickly and scale.
Yep.
But whereas if you have a nice moat, and if you are actually like you don't have a lot of direct competition, then you will have enough word of mouth. And if you can also manage larger customers, then you can profitably bootstrap.
Yep. And so help us understand today, you recently did a raise. How much, what was the valuation? What have you hit in terms of ARR run rate?
So we announced that we crossed $100 million of ARR, and our valuation for the last funding round was around $1.5 billion.
And an IPO is coming up?
So we don't have a definite date yet, but I think that is one of the obvious choices. And again, we are excited about that because like there has been no product company from India that has actually IPO'd. So that would be a great story for us to be like one of the we love Atlassian for the kind of success that they have from Australia. They're the only multi-billion-dollar product story from Australia, right? So I think we could do that the same for a company that started out of India. So I think that's the excitement. But having said that, we are not on a timeline yet. We're still in the startup stage and moving to a more mature company. I think we are there in terms of revenue, but we have to be ready before we can go.
Yep. No, you're in good company. Jay, president of Atlassian, was on a couple episodes ago, and he said the same thing, how proud they are that they were kind of the only folks in Australia, born in Australia, known for this. So I'm certainly rooting for you. Give us some more of the kind of the customer metrics here. So how many customers do you have now across all the platforms?
So we have more than 150,000 businesses across all of our products using our software today.
That's great. Okay, and if you're at about 100 million run rate today, I mean, I can divide 100 million by the 150, and what people are paying you about $56-ish a month on average. Does that sound about right?
No, actually, this includes our free customers also. So we don't break free and paid separately.
Oh, got it. So when you say 150,000 users, that includes the free users.
No, 150,000 businesses are using. It's not users; it's companies using our software. But since we have premium versions for some of our products, that includes some of the businesses which are using the free version.
Okay. How many are just paid customers?
No, I think we don't disclose that breakup yet.
Okay, got it. And why is that? Is that just a strategic thing, or you're still working on the conversion rate?
Basically, we just want to hold it till we are ready to disclose it to the public. Basically, our PR team and our CFOs advised us that keep the numbers for some more time.
Yeah, probably fair. Let's shift to something else. If we don't want to talk about customer count, churn is very critical at this price point, especially in the SMB space. 60% of your revenue comes from SMB. How have you managed churn, and what is your churn today?
So I think our churn is kind of in line with best-in-class SaaS companies that have SMB business in terms of the SMB business. So it's around, it varies by product, probably around, I would say, 2% a month for the SMB.
That's logo churn per month?
Yes, but our dollar-based churn is actually negative because of the expansion revenue. So we have a very healthy expansion, so which means our revenue churn is negative.
That's great. We talked earlier about expansion and how you're driving cross-product expansion with in-product kind of usage-based upselling. But you said that less than 5% of your user base actually pay for more than 2 products. So I'm assuming most of your expansion right now is coming from someone upgrading inside the same product. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is correct.
And what price, when we had Brian Halligan on at HubSpot, he talked a lot about the different pricing axes they use to drive higher price point, number of seats, number of usage, number of contacts, things like that. What kind of pricing axes do you use inside your products to drive expansion revenue?
So today it is broadly only 2 axes. One is when the customer grows in terms of number of seats. So that is definitely one. And we see a lot in our mid-market and large enterprise business, we see a lot of land and expand. So companies that start with, say, 40, 50 seats actually expand to 200, 500, etc. So that's been one axis. The other axis is we also have a customer success program where we manage our, we have 3-tiered customer success program. And for our top, we speak to customers, understand their business challenges. We actually upgrade them to higher plans if what they need is something that we have built in the higher plan, but they're not aware of it and they're not using it. So today our account-based expansion is much larger than our plan-based expansion.
I see. Okay, so I heard you say 2 things. You have 2 pricing axes in terms of expansion revenue. One is number of seats, which is fairly typical. The second is you have a team of essentially built-in consultants or account managers or customer support people who will recommend additional feature upsells to customers who are not using you to your full extent. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Very good. Interesting. So almost like a consultative sale.
No, it is called customer success. So basically, their job is not primarily sales. Their job is more to help adoption and be proactive in their relationship with their customers in terms of doing quarterly business reviews and helping customers accomplish what they want with our product. During that process, if they find that the customers need to accomplish something and that particular feature is available in a higher plan, but the customer is on a lower plan, then they suggest that and get the customer.
Got it. So seat-based upselling and feature-based upselling, 2 main things. Very good. Talk to me about, we talked about upselling, but let's go back to the top of the funnel here for a second. So customer acquisition, what has proved most effective for you in terms of, customer acquisition?
So we really have the long tail of online acquisition as the primary. So freemium is definitely something that drives a lot of top of the funnel. And we do all kinds of online acquisition. So we have very little outbound calling, but a majority of our leads are inbound and primarily through SEO, SEM. So I think different products have different splits. We have 50-50, 60-40 kind of split between paid and free or organic lead gen.
And give me a general sense monthly. What are you spending on direct paid Google ads, Facebook ads? If you had to guess.
I don't, probably in the millions of dollars.
In the millions of dollars. So we'll say between $1 million and 10 million, you think?
Yeah, maybe yes.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Not more. You're not spending more than 10% of your revenue on direct paid spend is what I'm trying to get at a percentage.
And we're talking about millions of dollars per month, right?
Per month. Yeah. Okay. Good. So maybe, who knows? Very good. And then talk to me about team today. So where are you guys at? How many team members?
So we have like 1,500 employees and growing. So I think we are adding more. So right now it's around 1,500 across all of our offices. And
where are the offices mainly? Where's the headquarters?
So we are headquartered in San Bruno, California, and the largest team is in Chennai, India. The product development team engineering. We also have offices in London, Berlin, and Sydney. So London and Berlin are around 35, 40 people each. I think London is 30 and Berlin is probably 40. And Sydney, Australia is a smaller team, like 6 people.
Very good. And before we wrap up here, Girish, with the famous 5, I meant to ask you this, CAC. So when you look at your fully weighted CAC, I know you're doing a mix of many different things, but generally speaking, what is your fully weighted CAC today?
So I think again, it's different for different product. What we look at is, see, CAC by itself would be meaningless. What you're basically, I'm interpreting your question as what's more interesting for SaaS companies. You have to understand both payback periods and LTV to CAC ratios. So I think each one of our products operates at say 15 to 16 month payback on a gross margin basis. That's what we try to be at, and with really healthy LTV to CAC.
And sorry, an LTV to CAC of what?
So depends on each product, but we know the benchmark is 3, so we are around that.
Okay, very good. So good, quick. So someone comes on and is paying you $1,200 per year. You're saying you're totally willing to spend $1,400, $1,500 to acquire that logo or that company in the first place. Very good. And talk to me about growth. So you just told us you passed a $100 million run rate today. Where were you at a year ago in August or September of 2017?
So I think like we, as a private company, yet we are not ready to disclose some of those. I'll have to check with my team. But we are growing at, let me say, very, very healthy rates, like north of, let's say, 40%.
North of 30 or 40?
So I'm just using it as a ballpark, north of 40. Yeah.
North of 40. Well, that's, if you're at 100 million run rate today, growing 30, 40% year over year is healthy for obviously that scale. So congrats on that growth. And is most of that coming from new customer acquisition or from expansion?
So mostly new customer.
Okay, that's great. Very good. All right, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Execution.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
So Jeff Bezos.
Number 3, besides any of your own, what is your favorite online tool for building your business?
No, so it used to be OneNote, and but right now I'm just thinking, probably I would just say my Mac.
You struggle because your products, I said you can't name one of your own, but your products do so many things. It's like you don't want to name someone that might do something similar. I have to ask you actually about that too. I mean, you go into,
it's the entire Google suite. We are heavy users of that, the Google Docs and Hangouts and stuff.
Yeah. How do you get
right now, my favorite tool is Zoom.
Zoom. Okay, very good. Eric will appreciate that. He was on a couple episodes ago as well. Tell me real quick. So, like you recently launched Freshchat. I mean, when you look at the space in a kind of isolated way, I mean, Intercom, Drift, people are raising hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in valuation. When you look at that space, why do you go, you know what? Even though there's some people here that are well funded and they're only focused on kind of messaging and chat, we're going to go after that space. How do you make that decision?
So, see, we are not looking at a competition and deciding. So we are looking at the entire market size and our core base. See, our focus is on customer engagement. So when I say customer engagement, like if you look at Freshservice or Freshteam, we look at employees also as internal customers. For the IT team or for the HR team, the employee is the customer. So our core is about how can we make customer engagement across all where the customer life cycle is. How can we win there? So in that sense, definitely today's customer wants to be omni-channel. So they want to speak on chat or social or email or phone. So that explains why we had to do like caller or chat or whatever. So today's customer, we want to manage all conversations. Today's businesses want to know everything about their customer. So what we are doing is executing on our vision of how do we see the future of customer engagement? That's what we are looking at. So whether it's AI, ML or omni-channel engagement or full life cycle of customer management.
Got it. All right. Number 4 here. How many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
I try to get at least 7 hours.
Okay, that's healthy. And what's your situation, Girish? Married, single, kids?
Well, I'm married with 2 boys.
2 little. Are they little or are they out of the house?
No, they're 14 and 12.
Ah, okay. And how old are you?
I'm 43.
43. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Okay, I should have probably started sooner.
Guys, there you have it. Freshworks, everyone knows it for many different products now, but Freshworks, the parent company, started in 2010. Now over 6 products, really focused on customer engagement across every platform. It all started with a broken TV he couldn't get a freaking insurance or refund on. He said, you know what? I'm going to build this thing myself, make the system better. They've just passed $100 million in ARR, growing 30 to 40% year over year, about $250 million raised, looking at potentially an IPO coming up here shortly, serving over 150,000 business logos on their platform. Economics are super healthy with the 16-month payback period on these accounts that come on and start paying them, call it $1,200 in first year ACV. Churn is below 2% logo churn per month and net negative revenue churn because of their in-product expansion being at super healthy levels. Team of 1,500 based in San Bruno, California, India, and other remote locations. Girish, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you.